Martin is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to putting drills indoors and outdoors. So let's start us off with a tip.
Well, indoors, you know, there's such a lot you can do with your putting. If I look back on my career, and it was many, many moons ago when I was trying to play, but it was a misunderstanding with something with my putting that really chased me off the tour for sure. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that as we go through this.
Okay.
But indoor putting, you are a very good putter. I'm not just saying that. I've watched Blair hit many good putts. And
Thank you.
So I want you to interject here with putting, and I know you have a putting green in your back garden.
Yes.
And lucky you. And the reason I've got a coffee cup here is you may not have a putting green in your back garden, and my wife won't let me cut a hole in the carpet in the front room.
We have to make do.
So we have to make do. So a lot of times I will use a coffee cup or something like that just for a putt or
Okay,
two.
great
I'm
tip.
actually going to put that over the hole. But I do like you having something to hit at when you putt. If you get the ball dead center, it will go right into the coffee cup. But I'd say as long as you hit the edge of the coffee cup, you're doing all right. Now,
Yes.
so what can we work on indoors? Can we work on breaking putts indoors? No, that's pretty much impossible. It's not really that easy to work on speed control indoors, so we really have to sort of kick those two out. We can't work on those. What can we work on, though? We can work on building a really good stroke that will start the ball in the direction you want it to start. Now, to do that, I've put a little station here together. I've got two alignment rods. They are more for alignment than they are the path of the swing. I'll say that again. They're more for getting the lines across my body and getting the angle of the face when I set up than they are for the path of the swing. Point to note, Blair O'Neal, and everybody else who's watching. The direction your ball leaves the putter in, are you ready for this? The direction the ball leaves your putter face in is 90%, 90% the angle of the face when you hit it, to the degree that the path of the swing is almost irrelevant. And people make such a big song and dance about, should I swing straight back and straight through, or should I swing on an arc? I can tell you this, it really doesn't matter. If the face is square, the ball will start at the target.
Right.
And that's why some people can say, you know, the great Bobby Log hooked all his putts. He really didn't. He just swung to the right, but hit it with a square face. Now, so understanding that the aim, these two sticks are not particularly for the path. They are for the direction of the ball to travel in. And I've taken here, this one's easy to do. I just take a little bit of a Post-it note. I just ripped a little rectangle of Post-it note over there, and I've got that for me to start the ball over. If I put that Post-it note about 2 feet in front of the ball, if I start my ball over that Post-it note, that's a really good indicator that the face angle is square. So if you did only this, I'm going to give you more, but if you did only this, if you aimed your putter face so you could see it was about perpendicular to those sticks on the ground, and you knew that the line across your shoulders was about parallel to those sticks on the ground. Feet, not too worried. Gary Player won the Masters with that stroke. Jack Nicklaus won the Masters with that stroke, with that stance, I should say. So the foot line I'm not too bothered about, but if you could aim it in the right direction by means of the sticks, if you can start it in the correct direction by means of going over that Post-it note, then you are working on things that will give you a very nice putting stroke to send the ball, as that one did, right in the middle of the cup.
Putt.
Now, when you get one right in the middle of the cup there, like that, you know you hit a good putt. It's probably better to putt if you've got a hole, but as I said, I don't have a hole in my living room. You have one in your backyard. Now, let's dig in a bit deeper here, but that's what I'd want you to do first of all. Work on improving the angle of the face. Now, things that contribute to that. Take your setup to this, Blair. Things that contribute to that. Lower body stability. Really important in putting. Don't see any good putters wiggling and waggling and moving the knees all over the place. Now, you can do a couple of things. I used to spend much time as a kid just parking my derriere up against a wall and putting there, or thinking of keeping my bottom still. But better I've got from Dr. Rob Neal, actually. If when you set up, you take your two kneecaps and you turn them out, you deliberately turn them out, and you just tighten your glutes a little bit. If you do those two things, turn your knees out, tighten your glutes a little bit, you will find the lower body stays incredibly still.
Very stable, feels like.
So when people say relax, I say, I'm not so sure about that. So you turn the knees out, you tighten the glutes, then we see if we can start the ball down that line. And you did that beautifully. Gosh, you do roll the ball very well. For you, as I said when we started, you're a very good putter. For you, Why are you such a good putter? What have you done that's led to you being someone who starts the ball on such a good line so often?
I think one of the things is I'm very visual, so I line up correctly most of the time. And then also with my stroke, I don't have a lot of movement going on in my swing. So that's why I love being stable on the bottom. I feel like I have a good, nice path, but most importantly, you've got to hit the ball in the center of the putter face.
You do have to hit in the center, that's for sure. Look, the other thing that I think is important to talk about that you can work on indoors is the cadence or the rhythm of your stroke. The rhythm of the stroke being, you know, the time it takes for you to take the putter from start to end of backswing, and the time it takes for the putter to go from end of backswing to impact. And what we find with all the science now is there is a distinct relationship with most of the good putters between how long the backswing takes and then how long it takes to get to impact. And it's about a 2-to-1 ratio. Let's say you took 0.6 seconds to make the backswing. I'm going to make this simple, don't worry. Don't let your eyes glaze over. I'm going to make it really simple in a minute, but you just need to understand the science. If it took 0.6 seconds to go back and 0.3 seconds to come to impact, that's a 2-to-1 ratio. 0.6 to 0.3, 2-to-1 ratio.
Yes.
It could be, you know, 0.8 to 0.4, but most of the putters are about 0.6 to 0.3. But to make it simple, you can say this. If you say 1001, 1001, when you say that, that actually is about 0.6, 0.3. So I love people when they're putting to go 1001, 1001. And as a matter of fact, irrespective of the length of putt that you have, the beat of the stroke, the cadence of the stroke should be 1001, 1001. So I'm going to hit one right across the studio in a moment. But if I was hitting a really short putt, the cadence of my stroke, I'm going to angle off a little bit. The cadence of my stroke for a really short putt would be 1001. If I was going to hit one right across the studio, the cadence would still be 1001. Now the cadence, banging around the studio there. The cadence doesn't change. I mean, the speed changes, but the beat is sort of 1001, 1001. So those are two things you can really work on. The angle of the face, getting that correct, and then keeping the lower body really still, and the cadence is 1001. And if you have that type of cadence, you're going to hit a lot of good putts. Do you want a bonus? I've got a bonus.
I always do.
Everybody wants
everyone
a bonus.
does.
Yeah. So a few years ago, I was over in the United Kingdom, and it was when Henrik Stenson won the British Open, the Open Championship, as they call it, and he putted just unbelievably well, incredibly well. And I wasn't there, but Maureen Medill, who was a great commentator, told me about this drill that Henrik did every night. And I've never heard of anyone else doing it, so I'm giving this out free of charge, obviously. And it was to... And he holds some incredibly good putts at Royal Troon there when he had that tremendous duel with Phil Mickelson. But Henrik did not put a post-it marker down there, but on the green at Royal Troon, he did this, practice screen. He took 2 golf balls. We'll call this ball number 1. We'll call this ball number 2. And he hit ball number 1 into ball number 2. Now, here's the thing. If you hit ball number 1 into ball number 2, and you hit ball number 1 with the face square, when ball number 1 hits ball number 2 is going to travel absolutely straight. If ball number 2 doesn't travel straight, just like it had been hit by a snooker ball or a pool ball, then the face was either open or closed. I won't go into too much depth about that. But the goal here would be, let's start with this ball, maybe just about a grip length apart. I've never asked you to do this one. It's a good one. See, we call it the Henrik. See if you can hit ball number 1 into ball number 2 and see if ball number 2 can run reasonably straight. It's as simple a drill as I know for checking the face angle, and it led to an Open Championship. Now, when the ball goes to the right, that actually means the face was a bit closed. It's a bit counterintuitive, but it means the face is a bit closed. But if you hit ball number 1 into ball number 2 and ball number 2 goes straight, like Henrik, you're going to hold a lot of putts. So what have I given you there to think about with putting? You can't work on break at home. Putt to a coffee cup or something like that, because you probably haven't got a hole in the carpet at home. You can work on the face angle. People work on paths. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Work on things that improve the face angle, just like clapping hands like that. Lower body stability, really important. Cadence of stroke, really important. And don't forget, Do the Henrik. Sounds like a dance.
The bonus drill.
You should do the Henrik bonus drill.
Great stuff, Martin. I hope that this helps your putting. For more great tips, subscribe to Golf Channel on YouTube and make sure to watch School of Golf.